Welcome back to another Molly's Mind. We are still on quarantine life. So we are finding out our schedules a little bit more. We're getting into more of routines and rhythms, as hopefully all of you guys are. So with this Molly's Mind, we wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. We have this new game that Molly purchased. Is it called Couples?
No.
It's called Our Moments. So it's like what's that other game where it asks you,
Cards Against Humanity.
Cards Against Humanity, where it asks questions and you have to answer them, and it's like funny questions. This is for couples, so it has all different like couples questions, stuff like memories, relationship questions, stuff that's just conversation starters. That's good for people. Some
are deep and some are more like funny.
Yeah, there's all different kinds of questions. They're pretty good. We've done it a couple times sitting down for lunch. But I'm curious what you guys are doing to pass time for your quarantine lives. You know, if you're getting into a rhythm or a routine, what your daily life is starting to look like. So let us know what you're doing, because maybe I'll start doing it. I know personally, I've started going on walks, which has been super helpful. They're not like, it's not a routine. I don't have the same time every day. I've been trying to go in the mornings, but would you say there's any like routine or like cadence you're starting to get into in this new quarantine life world?
So for me, I'm already on maternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already in this life before this stay-at-home order happened. So I was getting comfortable starting to go out again, but obviously we have the baby who, you know,
wants to make a special appearance.
Yeah.
Special guest.
That's just like our new normal, and so if we are gonna film videos, we have to have Scotty here.
I will say,
ow,
since all of this, I think walking and running obviously was popular in the beginning of quarantine life, but now it's starting to get even more people walking.
I think there's
in groups.
two camps of people. Those who are going to gain the quarantine 15.
No, I'm not talking about that. Let me finish.
Yeah,
my
but
point.
Walking and running.
Yes, but I'm saying
getting out.
They're talking about social distancing and obviously, you know, like staying inside your house. But I think a lot more people are looking for like a little bit of exercise who don't want to do an at-home workout. So a walk is pretty easy. Mm-hmm. A run is pretty easy. So not even just saying this, but like in the suburbs and stuff, the sidewalks are starting to get more packed. You know, mm-hmm. Families are walking all together in like 4s and 5s.
Yeah. Groups
of people. And it's becoming more, I guess, comfortable for people to, you know, engage with other people. So like I had a guy walk up pretty close to me yesterday, but he sort of was like on my front yard. So I just don't want it to get to a point where people start getting comfortable on their walks and runs or whatever in their big groups, and they start
fixing my hair.
They start like easing up on the rules and start becoming more lax with like talking in your space again and stuff like that. I think that could potentially be a problem. You don't think so?
I'm not trying to get near anybody. If anything,
But would you agree that there's more people like walking in groups and stuff like that?
I have barely walked,
okay.
So I don't.
Never mind.
I can't speak to it. I don't know. I haven't been outside really. I'm just kind of staying home because on the cold days, I'm not taking the baby out, so I can't speak to it.
Okay. What we have been doing, and before we get to the game, just something fun if you do live in a house or you want to just buy some chalk off Amazon. Buy some chalk and write some funky shit on your sidewalk.
Yeah.
I think it's cool because we've taken up like our whole sidewalk, and at first we did like Super Mario Brothers. We put like some mushrooms, we put the gold coins, we put the banana peel, like the speed sign, which was like the Rainbow Road. And you know, you have fun with it because everyone's walking by your house, everyone's going for a walk. We did like a squiggly line. So get creative and funky with like stuff on your sidewalk.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. And my mom said she saw girls out there like playing on the front step or write positive messages.
It's just the little things to like make people more positive, you know, mm-hmm. and like get out of their mundane, like watching the news, being depressed, like finding out whatever's happening with work. Like it's just so important to like keep laughing, trying to stay positive, like, mm-hmm. you know, doing all that type of stuff. So these games help. That's why I think this Molly's Mind will be fun.
Yeah.
Who told you about this game?
I heard about this game, just someone I follow on Instagram who is really positive and always is posting positive things, posted about this game called Our Moments, and it's just, you can do, there's family cards or there's couple cards. So we have the couples cards, and it's just different kinds of questions. So I thought it would be fun for Molly's mind for each of us to get 3 separate questions. So we each went through the deck and picked 3 questions. So I don't know what his are, and he doesn't know what mine are. And instead of having a discussion topic today, we're going to answer these questions. I don't know if we'll get to all 6, but we'll both answer, and maybe we'll have discussion based on the answer of the questions. Maybe this will take 5 minutes. We'll see.
So are we going to go, what are the rules? Are we going back and forth?
Yeah. Normally when we do it, only, like, I'll pose the question to Corin and he'll answer it. I won't answer it, because that way we can play the game multiple times
So
and get
wait,
different
I'm
questions.
going to flip over
But
one
this
card and
time,
I'm going to ask you a question.
And I'll answer, and then you can answer it as well.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
you're
which
going to ask
normally,
so we're both going to answer the
yeah,
question.
Just
Oh, so she's
because
changing the rules a little bit.
because I feel like that way it's more of like you get both viewpoints. But when we play this, just us two, only one of us answers it, because that way if we play the game again in the future, we can make the game last longer.
Definitely. Okay, so do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
You start.
I'll start. All right. So these are 3 cards. So normally, like she said, you just flip it over and go. But we picked out these 3 questions because I don't want anything. Whatever. Okay.
No, it's just more fun.
So my first question to Molly, and I was actually curious about this because, okay, I'll ask the question.
Okay.
Where and when do you get your best ideas? She has recently, I will preface it this question with recently become more of a producer. So everybody watching knows that she's been more involved with YouTube and has been editing more videos.
I've always been involved in YouTube.
And is trying to think of content ideas.
I had a YouTube before you even had a YouTube.
She's got a YouTube channel, and one video has like 45,000 views, and she won't ever shut the hell up about it. She's like, she rubs that in my face every time I say something about YouTube.
Which
She'll
is
go,
like nothing.
don't you know my one cortisol video has
cortisol,
whatever it's called, 48,000 views or some shit?
Whatever.
Okay,
but,
so here's the question.
No, wait, hold on, wait. I just wanted to say I am been more of a producer because I'm not pregnant and super tired.
And we have the new Mac laptop now, so she can edit on my iMovie a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
anyways, back to the question.
I digress. So where and when do you get your best ideas?
For me...
Yes, it's for you. The question was for you.
Usually I get my best ideas just either whenever I'm sitting in silence. So I'm someone who likes silence. I like the TV off. If I like to sit in a room in quiet. I like to drive in the car in quiet. Or like the showers quiet. So whenever I'm just sitting in quiet, I feel like things pop into my head. And that's when I get my best ideas.
What ideas are you ever thinking of ideas of things to do? Is it like, I know you're very family oriented and you want to do what's best for the family and like our budget and like grocery shopping. Are you ever thinking of things, like what do you think of when you're sitting down? Like what's going through your mind? Like pregnancy videos and stuff? Like
no.
What the next TikTok is going to be?
I think it depends what type of idea we're like talking about, because if it's something related to YouTube, usually, I don't know, I might get it from like watching other YouTube channels, because I watch a lot of YouTube stuff, but I watch different kind of YouTube than you put out content for.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get ideas from that. But in terms of family and stuff, a lot of stuff I follow a lot of, I have 2 Instagram accounts. I have one with like all my friends and things like that, but I have a separate account that I just follow like moms and inspirational things and things that kind of just like lift me up. And so that's where I found this game, was through someone I follow on there. So a lot of things I
like her and her mom built Nick's whole big bed out of wood. So like you got the inspiration from like Pinterest or something. Yeah,
from like Pinterest and like whatever I'm going for. It, so I like to look for things that are going to bring the family closer together, or experiences, things like that. So I guess it depends what type of idea you're talking about, because I get a lot of ideas through social media, through the account that I have that I'm really just looking to follow moms or people who inspire me in different ways.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
What about you? Where do you get your best ideas?
I weirdly will say I get my best ideas in the shower. And like I've always...
I don't think that's weird. I think that's a lot of
people. Yeah,
no,
I know.
You're by yourself.
You're by yourself and it's just like you're free and like you're just, it's like peaceful with the water like running. I've always said like I wanted like a washable whiteboard or something for the bathroom. So
I've never heard you say that.
I've thought it a lot, but I've never actually said it to you. So I apologize for that. So if you ever have gotten inside of my head, then it's in there somewhere, because I've thought a lot of times while I'm in the shower and I think of a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow, I need like a washable whiteboard for the bathroom. But that is a good like holiday present if you ever want to get me one. A washable whiteboard
Yeah,
for
but
the...
couldn't you just write like on...
Sometimes I have my phone in the bathroom, but then I got to reach out and like my hands are all wet and it's just not conducive to like being in the shower.
Couldn't you write on like the back wall, the back shower wall?
With like what?
Like a white dry erase marker, because it's tile.
Maybe, but I'm sure there's like a shower marker
Okay.
or like shower whiteboard. But I think in the shower, I think of the greatest ideas.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still want to enjoy the shower because I take a long shower.
Yeah.
But I want to get out because I want to rush out to write down my idea.
2 things about Corin. 1, he takes the longest showers ever. He's like, it's going to be quick, and it's still 45 minutes. 2...
I will say a max shower for me is 6 minutes. Is that a long shower?
That's your max?
Probably 6-minute shower.
Are you kidding me? That's like your bare minimum shower.
6 minutes sounds like a long shower, and it probably is a long shower.
I showered and was dressed. We got the shower at the same time today. I showered and was dressed before you even got out. So let's just end that there. You take long showers. 2, Corin is someone who, if he comes up with an idea, he needs to write it down like then and there. So
same thing with driving. I'll try and put it in my notes, and Molly will freak out, and I'm like,
because you shouldn't be on your phone when driving.
But this is what I hear.
No, there's no excuse. There's like
or even at, not driving, at a restaurant or something. Like I've heard Joe Rogan say that like his wife is so cool because she understands that like he thinks of ideas in the weirdest times or the weirdest moments or certain situations. So like, let me finish my point. Tasteless. If you're out there, please get out.
I was actually in the middle of mine because I said 1 and 2.
Okay, what's 2?
So you cut me off.
Okay,
so
go for 2.
Okay. So no, I was saying you have to write down an idea in the middle of your sentence, like in the middle of the thought. So I was going to say a shower thing would be good for you because you're the type of person who doesn't remember. So I'm just saying you interrupted me.
Okay, what's 2 then?
That is 2.
What was 1?
That you take the longest showers.
Okay. So yeah, so as I was saying, Joe Rogan was saying that like his wife, and I'm sure a lot of successful comedians and celebrities,
which isn't you,
which isn't me, but I'm probably funnier than most of them. Their wives allow them to whatever they're doing. If they have a thought, a moment of genius, they let them stop whatever they're doing and write it down. Okay. And sometimes they try to do that at a restaurant and stuff like that. But I'm not allowed to.
That would be
because
fine,
then it's taking out my cell phone.
But you're on your cell phone 90% of the day otherwise.
This game can be fun or it can be a relationship.
All right. So next question. My turn?
Yes.
Okay. What do you love about your hometown?
So I
Say where you're from again, just in case anybody doesn't know.
Well, I sort of have like 2 hometowns. I'm originally from Hartsdale, New York. But then I like feel like I grew up more in like high school and college in New Rochelle, New York. So Hartsdale doesn't have too much like Hartsdale pride because it's sort of like a town within a town of Greenberg. But New Rochelle has a lot of pride. Like people are very proud to be from there. There's a lot of athletes that come out of New Rochelle. The Dick Van Dyke Show took place in New Rochelle. So what was the question?
Didn't they film an Orange is the New Black there or something?
Yeah, Orange is the New Black. Like, you know, Ray Rice is out of New Rochelle. There's
Heimlich is from New Rochelle.
Yeah, the Heimlich maneuver guy is from New Rochelle. Like, New Rochelle is a pretty like prestigious area. Prestigious?
No, I don't.
Not prestige. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like it's very like if you're from New Rochelle, which I'm sure a lot of places are, you're like very proud to be from that town. So what was the question?
What do you love most about your hometown?
Oh, I just love like the community aspect of it. Like I'm seeing now like people are doing stuff just for the community. It's very like the high school, if you went to New Rochelle High School, it mixed a whole bunch of middle schools. So like everyone who went there has like this bonding thing from, I don't know. It's I like the people. I think there's a good mix of like Hispanics, there's a good Black community, there's a like an affluent, you know, community, like Italians. There's a good melting pot of so many people in New Rochelle.
Yeah, lots of diversity there.
Yeah, and it's It's cool. There's awesome barbershops. There's awesome food. There's such a good mix of everything there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
what do you love about your
about
hometown?
my hometown? I mean, there's not much I love about my hometown.
The Thirsty Turtle.
So I'm from a town called Farmington, New York, but I went to a high school that's like 2 neighboring towns called Victor. And I don't know, I would say I love like my family. Like when I go home, that's what I think of. I think of my family, spending time with my family.
So you pretty much love nothing about your hometown because you can have your family anywhere.
I could, but that's where I see my family 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, since we've lived in Illinois, when I lived in Manhattan, when I lived in New Rochelle, when I lived in White Plains, when we saw my family, it was always like in Victor or Farmington. So for me, it just represents family and like something that we don't have out here. Like we, have my mom and our kids, but it just represents family to me, and that's for me and like my, childhood best friends and things like that. And the other thing I would say is Papa Jack's ice cream and like garbage plates.
Garbage plates are good
so
from
again,
upstate
like
New
the
York,
food, which is tied to like friends and family because those are things you do with them. So I'd say that's about it.
Nice. Yeah, I think friends and family is super big for everybody in their hometowns.
Yeah, in your hometown and what that kind of represents for you.
Some people don't want to go back to their hometowns.
I mean, I would
memories.
never want to live there again.
Yeah.
But I love going back to visit.
Next question. What's your best family vacation memory? So for all that don't know, Molly has a big family, and that's where I'll let her take the answer from.
So I would say Myrtle Beach growing up. I mean, my family, I think we've talked about this on one of our chats before, but we used to travel the country for karate. And growing up, there was a bunch of summers where there was a big tournament in South Carolina. And so we would all go as a family, and after that tournament, and it would be my family and a couple other families, and we'd rent like a condo there, and there was like a bunch of pools and mini golf, and it was on the beach. So that was
Did you drive past south of the border, or is that?
I think that's before. I don't know.
It's after Myrtle Beach?
I don't know. I've been to south of the border a bunch of times, and I always remember that going to Florida though.
Whenever I think Myrtle Beach now, and I didn't really like Tiger King, but I think of that doc.
Oh yeah, Doc Antle.
Doc Antle.
But yes, that would be my memory, and that's why I cannot wait to do vacations with our kids and with our nieces and nephews and our families. And we did Disney with Nix when she was like 7 months old, and my cousin went, and your parents went, and my sister went. And to me, we were supposed to go on a cruise this summer with a ton of our family, his parents, my family, my sister, my cousins, aunts, uncles. Obviously, that is now canceled, and I don't know if I'm ever going to want to go on a cruise after that. But point being that those are the kind of vacations that I loved, was when we had so much family around, and that's what I can't wait to do with our kids.
Yeah, I agree. To answer that question for myself too, I think it's not a particular place we went to or something we did, but just like driving from New York to Florida on those vacations is just like something I'll always remember. Just spending time with my brother and my sister, my mom and my dad in the car. Like we'd hook up through the cigarette lighter and old TV so we can watch VHS movies.
Yeah.
I think just that's the biggest memory that sticks out in my brain is like driving down in the station wagon to Florida and like seeing my grandma or taking the auto train or something. So it's not a particular place, but doing the family vacations like in those long drives were what I remember the most. Because it's like you can't remember specifically about I remember going to Orlando, and in the hotel there was this arcade we used to like, and the ice cream spot.
I always loved on the vacations where the hotel had a pool, and we would just like play in the pool for hours and doing.
But it's not like you remember exact like moments from the vacation.
Well, no, I mean you do. You're part of the exact moment is you remember in the car.
Yeah.
So that's just because you weren't at the destination, the car ride was part of that vacation.
Yeah.
And that's part of the experience. Like we both loved doing road trips with our family, and I will
say too, I had a good vacation with my brother. we were both in Florida, I think visiting my grandma, and we went to
Right.
Universal Studios, just spent the day together. And then I had a trip to Prague with to visit my sister, and just spending time alone with them was cool too. As I'm sure my dad has visited my sister, and they had a good time together in Czech Republic. So
Yeah.
individual trips are good too, along with family vacations.
Yeah. Trying to think of like my favorite vacation with you. I had a really good time when we went to Florida with Amy and Steve, and we stayed at the horse farm, and then we went to Discovery Cove. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What's one dream that you've tucked away for the moment?
So I don't have many dreams that I've tucked away for the moment. I don't know. It sounds cheesy, but like I try to like just live in the moment type of thing, you know? Like I don't really think what's next, or like when they ask in an interview like where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years type. I think like I don't know, you just take everything as it is, because so much stuff changes. Like who would have thought coronavirus is here, you know? Like that changes a dream. So I don't know. I don't. It sounds corny, but I don't really have any like dreams that I've tucked away. Like obviously, I want to get back to Hawaii. So that's a dream of like taking the family to Hawaii and doing like a whole trip there will be like super awesome. But nothing like crazy like dream, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like obviously be comfortable, like be able to go on a nice vacation is like a nice dream of mine. You?
I would say, I don't know, it's hard. I would say like it's not tucked away. Like it's my career to just kind of like keep moving. So that's not really like tucked away, because it's something that I'm always like working at. Except for right now, because I'm on maternity leave and not doing any work at all.
One dream I do have tucked away is that both of the girls will take a nap at the same time for at least like 2 or 3 hours, so we can do some YouTube shows without them
I'm
crying in
surprised.
between each time. So there's probably a lot of splices in this video, but
Yeah.
it's
But
because
that's
Scotty's
like-
crying, but it's a part of like where we're at
Yeah,
right now.
that's
So
like the season of our lives
there
is
is
like,
no dream that can stop that.
but I'm surprised like you don't have a dream of like just not working.
No, there is no, like, I love what I do, and I love
Yeah.
doing the YouTube stuff. So like,
Yeah.
it was when I was applying for jobs, it was like, you know, to get a dream job, and working in sports is a dream job, you know,
Yeah,
like,
so-
so like I'm living out my dream when I go to work.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So next question.
Is it you? How many do you have
It's
left?
you.
So is the last one?
Yeah, last one.
Last question. Oh, this is a big one. And I know the answer to this one, but I want everybody to know. I think I know what you're gonna
I
answer.
didn't read it all yet. I started reading it, but go.
Name an activity you do. Name an activity you used to do when you were younger that you don't do anymore, but you'd likely enjoy if you started again.
Lacrosse.
No, I thought
I
karate.
I thought you would. No, because I like have carried. Well, I took them out of my car because of the girls with the strollers, but I was carrying my lacrosse sticks around in my car for years because I would love to see like a pickup game of lacrosse, or like.
Well,
yeah,
you can teach like Nix how to play lacrosse.
Yeah,
and,
no,
like,
I
hold
would
the-
love to. I can't wait till she's old enough to hold a stick and, you know, we could play. But that's something that I even looked when we moved to see if you could join a volleyball league. You can usually join a pickup soccer league. Is that what it's called? Pickup soccer? I don't
Probably,
know.
yeah.
But
Rec soccer.
yeah, but you can't do that really for lacrosse. And I miss playing lacrosse so much. I could go over to like a brick wall and just, you know,
Yeah,
play some catch by myself,
have
but
a catch.
play catch. But yeah, it would be lacrosse for me, just because karate I could do, you know, anytime I go back to New York if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But lacrosse isn't. I can't.
So
play
you
a game
enjoyed
of
the lacrosse
I
more
love-
than you did karate. Is basically what you're saying, because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could do both. You can go back to New
Yeah.
York and play lacrosse. Like,
No, I can't go back to New York and play lacrosse. I can't play a game of lacrosse.
true.
Karate is a very individualized sport. You can do it by yourself, or I could go spar,
Yeah,
I go to fighting
yeah.
class, whatever. I can't go play a game of lacrosse. Like, that is not a possibility for me.
Yeah.
And you never even saw me play lacrosse, which is so crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool to get like a net in the backyard and
Yeah,
we can just
I
throw and catch or
totally
whatever.
regret not playing all through college. I only played freshman year of college, and then when I transferred, I decided to join a sorority instead, which
How
I
did you
wouldn't
get
say
into
I
lacrosse? Because I
regret,
feel like
but
lacrosse is like one of those sports. It's not
Stephanie
like,
Howard.
oh really?
Yeah,
Like she played and she said,
she played.
Steph, I did a chat with her on Corin's
Yeah.
World. It was a good one.
She played in 7th grade and loved it. So then I played in 8th grade. And so then from there, and anyone who knows about lacrosse, I played center, which is the one who does the face off. And I'm short, and usually it's tall people, but I played midfield, and I would get, I mean, as you can imagine, like very aggressive. And freshman year, I had like the leading number of ground balls, so you got to get like down in there. And yeah, I miss playing lacrosse.
Yeah,
And
there's
so,
one picture I know of you where you got like those little goggles on. Maybe you can do a splice screen in or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to find them because I don't know if I have those pictures on like the computer. I think they're like printout pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely would say lacrosse for me. What about you?
This sounds weird, but I was telling you about this, and the activity I used to do was I would play Pokemon on Game Boy Yellow,
Yeah.
the color, like the yellow Game Boy, and I played like Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue. They had a yellow edition, but I used to just like sit down, and the top of the Game Boy had this thing where you can like play against your friends. So Randy, I used to play against. We used to just sit in the front yard of my apartment building and play. And I really enjoyed that. Like the game wasn't complex. Like it was just simple. Like you caught a Pokemon, you got to the next level. It's not like video games now where like there's so many different levels and there's so many different things you can do in the game and kill this person, kill that person, and defeat the boss. Like the Pokemon was just so simple. I don't know, and I enjoyed it so much.
Did
so
you
like
play Randy by connecting your Game Boys through a cord?
I
That's how
think
it
there
used
was
to
a
work,
cord, but there
right?
also used to be on the Game Boy Yellow. I think there was like a solar thing on top, and you could
Why
sort
are
of
you calling
connect.
it Game Boy Yellow? Is it the Game Boy Color and you just had a yellow one?
Yeah.
Like your actual Game Boy was yellow.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's not
It was
color-
Game Boy Color,
Yeah, so people.
but it was the
aren't-
yellow one.
Okay, I had a teal one.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they had the one that also like you can
Or
see
did you
through
have
them.
because so you remember the original Game Boy was gray,
Yeah.
but then they came out with a yellow and a red one, and then they came out with Game Boy Color.
No, it was Game Boy Color,
the
and it was a yellow
pictures
one.
were in color on the screen. That's what Game Boy Color meant, was like the actual game.
No, I think the Pokemon Red or Blue was still in gray.
Then it was Game Boy Pocket.
No, I didn't have a Game Boy Pocket.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Anyway,
They were red or yellow Game Boy Pocket.
if I had time, like if I have time now, which I really don't, with the two girls, like sitting with my Game Boy and just playing like Pokemon is like just take me back so much that I would enjoy it doing that so hard.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Nintendo Game Boy Pocket, $1,950 on eBay.
I'm gonna look.
That was the Game Boy. They were red and yellow, the Game Boy Pocket.
I had that one.
That's the Game Boy Pocket.
That's Game Boy.
It's Game Boy Pocket.
I didn't have a Game Boy Pocket.
But it just meant, they called it Game Boy Pocket because the Game Boy
Yeah, but
before
no,
that.
I had Game Boy Color because I remember
Okay.
on my screen the words color.
Yeah, and it was
I had-
in color.
and it was yellow.
I had a teal Game Boy Color.
But my Pokemon game was not in color, so maybe I played.
So they had the clear one.
It was that one. I
That's
remember it was
what
like
I
the
had,
purple
the
one.
teal
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
You had this.
Yes, but like the
Okay.
game is still in gray and white. So
Exactly like that. No, if you had Game Boy Color, it was color on the screen.
I don't remember my Pokemon.
If
Red or
anybody
Blue
in the comments knows, am I right or is
I don't
Corin
remember
right?
my Pokemon.
They weren't
Maybe
bright.
the
They were,
Pokemon
like,
Red or
very-
Blue wasn't. Maybe the game, like, could not be a color version or something. Like, and certain games could be a
certain
color.
games, yeah, I think.
So slow your roll.
Maybe I don't know if
Video
anybody
game expert.
because
Because you're making me
had,
second. You making me second
because I
guess
had
my
Game Boy
shit.
as well, and I
You probably had games that were in color. I had Pokemon Red or Blue, and maybe those two just came in the silver
did
and
you
black.
have Mario, like just the general Mario?
I had Mario for the old Game Boy, like the original joint.
and you couldn't play that in the new one.
I don't know. Now you're asking too
I
many
might
questions.
have my Game
I don't
Boy-
even want to play Game Boy
I
anymore.
might have my Game Boy in the basement.
You see how I didn't say anything about her activity? I just
Yes,
like
you
was.
did.
I was positive.
That
Now
was-
she's making me second guess even playing this.
That was the whole point of doing these questions, is because I knew we would have a dialogue on them. Okay.
So I would like to play a game boy if Molly wasn't around.
What's something you never confessed to your parents until much later and that you laugh about now?
See, that question to me is like, I never really held anything back from my parents. Like, they were always...
I was just thinking that as I was reading the question, that was going to be your answer.
Yeah, because there was nothing like... I didn't really I wasn't sneaking drinking beer too much or like smoking or anything like that. I wasn't throwing house parties. We lived in an apartment growing up, and then like in New Rochelle, I never really threw a house party or nothing. So there was nothing. I mean, like I used to play poker, and like I wouldn't always tell them I was going to play poker, but they just knew I was out, but like if I went straight from the poker club to high school, and not went home that night, I would maybe say I just slept at a friend's house or something. But like there was nothing I was really like holding back from them, because I was trying to keep it private.
Right.
I didn't like live this second. Like they knew everything I was doing, and like I was comfortable telling my dad or my mom or my stepfather what I was doing. So they know pretty much like everything, about me from when I was a kid and in high school and in college. Because there's nothing that I really have hid.
Yeah. That's the relationship that I hope we have with our daughters.
Yeah.
But I think it'll depend when we get there and what life will
I
be
think
like.
the reason that led to that is because my parents like never really put too much of a burden on those types of things. Like they never made alcohol and drugs seem like it was this like bubonic plague. Like don't ever do it. Like
yeah, but I don't think my parents were like that either. But I also saw. I had friends whose parents were much like yours, like very lax on things, and then the kids go way downhill.
No. So there's a spectrum. There's like parents who are like OD. They try to be super cool and like are just like do whatever you want, blah blah blah. But then there's parents who like my parents obviously cared. They would tell us like, if you go out drinking, just be be responsible.
Yeah, but there's people who have parents like that who abuse it because they're like it also depends what type of kid you are. Like you were also a responsible kid. In most cases.
Yeah, but that goes to parenting, like, because I think that that's part of that scale too. It's just like the parents play a role in that. Like,
I completely disagree because and you know this.
So you knew you knew parents just like my parents whose kids took advantage of that way more.
Yes, absolutely. And then there was kids whose parents were partying with you. Mm-hmm. Like there was a scale of parents, like way too strict, in the middle like yours, and then very relaxed. And I've seen kids on all those different types of parenting go way extreme, It
is funny to your point though, saying like, it's funny to see the relationship between, as you get older, I'm 30, what am I, 31?
Yeah.
Like how more free you are with your parents to like say stuff about, your childhood and stuff. Obviously they're your parents when you're younger, so they're looking out for you and they don't want you to, die or whatever, like end up in the hospital. So like there is that playful relationship as you get older because they can trust you with more information and like you can understand it and process it better. But I always felt comfortable, like my mom's a goofball, like I always felt comfortable telling her things. She always felt comfortable saying a dumb joke in front of me.
Well, even for me, I would say my parents started more like middle of the road, and then me and my siblings
made them become more strict,
abused it. Yeah, they were. I would say they started off more like yours. It's hard to even say though because there was a time it was the summer before I was going into 9th grade, I think, and my parents were out of the country in Ireland, and we were doing things we shouldn't have been doing, and they came home to that. So that was 9th grade.
Wait, so they came home to you like throwing a party or something?
The day they came home, they're like.
Wouldn't you like know when they're coming home?
It was way more in depth than just throwing a party. Like people had to go to the hospital. Like I'm not gonna tell the story on air. I can tell you.
Sure, that's what the comment section's gonna load up with, is hearing that story.
So that started that was like my first time getting into trouble and doing anything, and it only went downhill from there. So it was really difficult for me to ever get my parents' trust back, to get back to the middle.
I think that's a good point. If you start off in the middle and like you just act right and normal, like you get more leeway with your parents to in turn maybe throw that one part here. It's just
Right.
about building trust. And like,
Yeah.
if you lose that trust, they're going to lean more on the scale of like being stricter, like harsher parents,
Yeah.
grounding and not going out, this and that.
I
Whereas if you
totally agree.
and if they get your trust, they'll
Yep.
go the other way.
And I would say
That goes with
every
anything.
time I would like inch towards getting the trust, I would take like 20 steps back. So like for me, my entire high school and was like
So
rough.
now
So
you
the,
can look
so,
them back
so
at
the
it with-
question was, what's something you never confessed to your parents until much later and you laugh about now? I mean, there's so many.
I think I've heard you even say like someone jumped out of a window and broke their leg.
That was a story I was gonna say. So, yeah, my brother, my friend, and I all wanted to sneak out, and my house. Well, my brother's room out of our house was like on a hill, so it was the second story. And he's like, "Oh, I've jumped out this window before." So my friend and I were like, "Okay," and she said she'd go first, and she broke her leg to get plates and screws. Hi. So we brought her in like through the basement window, and we were like, "Can you wait till morning?" Because this was like the middle of the night, and she couldn't because we were holding her leg and we let it go. It would just like flop. So we brought her in, and then we told our parents that she slipped on our bathroom floor because we had just gotten our floors redone. So we said she slipped, and she hit it against the bathtub, and that it broke like that. And when I went to the hospital with her, and her dad who picked her up, and the doctor was like, "There's absolutely no way you broke your leg like that." And we just stuck to our story. And I never told my parents until way later, and it was fine. But yeah, that was one, like, it's looking back, I'm like, wow, we were so dumb.
Do you want to tell us about a time you crapped your pants when you really didn't have to?
What?
That's our quarantine life. This is Molly's Mind, quarantine edition. Thank you. Check out this game. We're not investors in it.
We're not sponsored. This isn't an ad.
But it's just a fun game to.
We've been having fun with this. These were a little bit. These questions we knew we would pick ones that we could have a little bit of conversation over. But some of the questions are super quick, super easy, and I feel like I learned some new things about Corin that I didn't even know. So I think it's a cool, like...
It was cool. Hopefully you learned a couple things. Hopefully it made you spark some memories of your own, of activities that you can be doing during quarantine life, or family members you can call and talk about vacations.
If you
or
guys
whatnot.
didn't know, I love to read comments on videos. I read all the comments, and if you want to share any of your comments on any of these questions, I would be happy to chat with you in the comments about it.
And also, I had an idea for the next Molly's Mind about being like a chef in your own home right now and cooking and making meals and stuff like that. I think is pretty interesting.
But what would we talk about?
Who knows?
I don't know. If you guys have any ideas for Molly's Mind, we're going to try to do more because we have more time home together.
If Scotty allows it. Scotty, raise your hand if you'll allow it.
Scotty will be joining us, and hopefully we can just get more content on Corin's channel.
My producer is back. So thanks for watching. See you all later. Bye-bye. Peace out. Yeah, no pieces. Peace. Thanks for watching.